Hello, my name is Peter Phelps of Phelps 3D, and in this FreeCAD 0.16 tutorial, I'm going to discuss how to use the Mesh Design Workbench in order to separate parts that are in like a build plate setup. Now, the reason you might do this, you might download something from Thingiverse and they have it set up in a build plate. A lot of times that build plate is subjective to the different sizes of 3D printer they use. So you might want to separate it because the parts themselves individually might fit your printer, but the whole build plate doesn't. You also might want to do it because with the failure rate of 3D printers, you might feel that it's better to separate parts and print them separate individually, so that you, if something fails, it only fails for that one part instead of the entire build plate, wasting a lot of time filament. So I'm going to go ahead and I've already started a new document, and I'm going to import an STL file that's on my desktop. Now when I do my little action masters, I do a build plate mostly to show people what orientation they should print the parts in. So I'm going to switch back to top, and we're going to switch to the part from part design, which is what I have for default, to the mesh design. Okay. You want to select the bot drone build plate, the STL file you just imported. Then we select this cut a mesh with a picked polygon tool. And click and draw a box. Click, click, click. Then you right click and you say outer. I'll get everything else except that part. Click on the bot drone build plate and go File, Export, and I'm going to call that bot drone chest. And say save. Now you can hit Control Z to undo, and it will bring everything back up. I click off, reselect the STL, select that, and then so the Polygon Tool can draw more than just a box. You can click as many lines as you want. Right click and say outer, and you just keep repeating that process over and over again. You click it, File, Export, make sure your save is still mesh, and bot drone waste. Now you can do it the other way too if you want. You can click and do the selection tool and say I want everything else gone except the back part there. I select everything else. I go inner instead. Then I can click this. Export bot drone back. Say save. And Control Z again. Bring it back. I'm going to zoom in a bit here. Now another reason you might want to use this is, say you wanted to get rid of something apart from something else that you already had. Now sometimes this doesn't work exactly the way you might expect it. For instance, you might think that this is going to cut right where I put that line. If I say enter here, it took the entire post, not just where I had the line. Now there's a hole, so you've got to be aware of that type of thing. When you do something like this, you're going to create a hole. See, you've got a big hole in the bottom of the head. Now what you could do is go up to the mesh tool on your mesh work menu and say fill holes. Now this is the part I don't get, why I have to decide how many edges. Because technically a circle is going to be multiple edges possibly, especially since I've got it going up this way, that way, that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit cancel. Instead I'm going to use this other close hole. And I'm trying to figure out exactly where to click for this. Is tricky. There we go. And it closed the hole. So then you could output that part if you wanted to separately. Now, Mesh Design has some repair tools, analyze and repair tools. I typically don't use them instead of using NetFab because they do really weird things. Zoom out a bit. Okay, now I'll show you. Let's do a repetitive repair. Do an analyze. And it's saying there's problems with this there, which I don't know why they are. But if you say repair, it just made a bunch of different holes. It didn't fix. So this part now would be unprintable. That's why I say I tend not to use these very much. I tend to use the NetFab to check instead. Because this, in my experience, this messes things up more than it fixes things. So that's pretty much all I ever end up doing in the Mesh Design Workbench. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.